Let's find the first three terms of the expansion of this expression. This is a binomial expansion where n is a rational number. I need to write it as 1 plus x to start with though. So I've got 8 minus 3x. What I can do is factorize out the 8. That. Raise it all to the power of a third, and I can separately raise it to the power of a third. Which gives 2, because this is the cube root of 8. 2 times 1 minus 3 over 8x to the third. Right, we're ready now, because I can do the expansion on this with n is equal to a third, and my x in here is actually going to be minus 3 over 8x. So just replace all of your n's by a third and all of your x's by minus 3 over 8x. I'm going to stick the 2 on the outside, leave that there for the moment. I'm going to get 1 plus a third times minus 3 over 8x. Oh, working out the first three terms, by the way. And then it's going to be plus a third times a third minus 1, which I'm just going to go straight for and say it's minus 2 thirds, all over 2 factorial, which is just 2, times by minus 3 over 8x, all squared. Before I multiply out the 2, let's just simplify this. The third and the 3 are going to cancel, so I'm going to be left with minus 1 over 8x. And then over here, I think it's best to use your calculator. You could cancel some things out. Like this 3 squared is going to cancel out with the thirds, and the 2 are going to cancel. Actually, we're just going to be left with the 1 over 8 squared, but the minus. You might be able to spot that, but okay. Let's just take it a bit slow, because last thing you want to do is make a mistake. Now, I haven't put it all over a single fraction. Maybe I should have done that, but I can just say divide by 2, which is the same thing. And I'm going to times by 3 over 8. Remember, you can just use a division symbol. It's a little bit quicker. And I'm going to square that. I know it's a negative, but when I square it, it'll become positive. So this will give me my answer, minus 1 over 64 x squared. Okay, and so I'm nearly done. I've got 2 minus a quarter x minus 1 over 32 x squared. Of course, this goes on forever, but I was just asked for the first three terms. For B, it says state the range of values of x for which the expansion is valid. Well, we're told this over here, so I can just do exactly the same thing. I can replace it, my x, or their x, by my x, which is minus 3 over 8x. That's the modulus. This is less than 1. So when you take the modulus, you just ignore the negative. So it's actually just 3 over 8x. And so I can times by 8 and divide by 3. It's going to be the modulus of x is less than 8 over 3. Or if you want, you could write it, and actually I did this, you could write it as an inequality. Okay, either of these two will be fine. Right, for C, we're asked to find the coefficient of x squared in the expansion of this. So first I was going to write it down at bottom. So it's our 8 minus 3x to the third from before. And then we're dividing by 1 plus 2x all squared. Now, what you must not do is just start expanding the bottom, because then you've got some polynomial divided by another polynomial. That just is messy. I mean, could you do that using polynomial division? I guess. But actually, what we should be doing is 8 minus 3x to the third, and then actually times it by something. So it's going to be 1 plus 2x to the minus 2. Right, remember, we're interested in the coefficient of x squared, so I need to multiply this out. And I've got an expansion for the left-hand brackets. I just need to sort out the right-hand one. So we can do another binomial expansion. Okay, I'm going to do this one a little bit more quickly. So n is minus 2 and my x is 2x. So it's going to be 1 plus minus 2 times 2x. I'm just going to go up to determine x squared. This one's not quite as awkward because there's no fractions and it's already got a 1 there. So it's going to be 1 minus 4x. And then I've got 6 over 2 is 3 times by 4. So I'm going to get 12. Okay, I'm just going to put that in a bracket. So this thing here is going to equal 2 minus a quarter x minus 1 over 32x squared plus other terms multiplied by 1 minus 4x plus 12x squared plus other terms. But I only want the term in x squared. And I did need to do quite a big expansion because there's lots of different ways I can get it. So I'm going to get minus 1 over 32 x squared from that multiplication across. I don't know why I started with that, to be fair. I normally start with the 2, but I'm kind of working backwards here, and I think I'm going to stick with it. Then over here, I'm going to get minus a quarter x times minus 4x. That's just going to give me plus x squared. And I'm going to get 2 times 12x squared, which is going to give me 24x squared. So that's going to give 25x squared minus 1 over 32, and probably the easiest thing to do is just make it 23 and 31 over 32 of x squared. Yeah, I just did 25, 20, sorry, that's not even right, is it? I've added the 24 and the 1 to give 25, and then I'm minusing 1, so it's going to be 24 and 21 over 32 of x squared. We'll just ask for the coefficient. I think we'd get away with what I've written, but best to write down simply the coefficient by itself. You could write it as a decimal, but this way I've avoided using my calculator and it's just a little bit quicker. Right, nicely done.